I was heading over to Sydney to sign some papers, but so ringing my old man to come back for another meeting because they're getting a bit worried, like they haven't heard anything. They thought this 15-year-old kid would be excited to get the contract like this, but didn't know what it was. So rang me to come back in, and my old man's like, "Oh, if we gotta go, they want to meet again." And I told him like, "Can we not go?" And he was like, "I just didn't want to like anything to do with union." I always tell myself I'm out, but he just told me it'd just be good to keep your doors open. So we ended up sitting down another meeting. This time we had a Skype session with some guys down in the Crusaders. Like I actually have no idea who it was. Like at the time, I think it would have been some really big dogs at the time, but like a dude that has no clue anything about union sort of just went through my eyes, and obviously that was a sort of like looking back at it now, it all makes sense now. So I had that wee meeting, went back home, and at the time that's when they offered the contract that pretty much changed my whole pathway. But at the time I had no idea what it was. But they offered a full contract straight out of school, which was very unlike, like no one has ever heard of it before, and I think it was the first ever signing a full contract player at the age of 15 in Tasman. So, but the same thing, the contract before, I took it home, put it on the table, left, ignoring it, and having my old man there, who was a professional footy player, he knew everything about contracts and whatnot. It was real helpful having him there. He sort of called me back to the table. I was like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like we just had this meeting, sitting down and started yarning, and obviously, I guess just the way he was talking, the pitch of his voice, like I knew this was serious. There's actually something quite big, and there was a lot of pressure at the time as a 15-year-old kid. I was like, oh man, like my old man saying all this, and like the way he's telling me, and like I know this union contract and these union papers in front of me is quite a serious thing. Like, and then but at the same time, it's like, man, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to fly out of here and sign these papers, which we've been planning, since the rugby league season and whatnot. And I'm sitting on the table. I asked the old lady. I was like, "Oh, Mum, what do you reckon I should do?" She was like, "You do whatever. That's your guys' things to sort out." I was like, "Oh." So I put in there, and I was like, "Oh man, like I was hardcore rugby league. Like my dreams and aspirations was rugby league. Like, but then just with my old man talking to him, I sort of did put pen to paper just for him. Just I knew that he always wanted me to play union. Every time he wasn't a big fan of it, just the big contact, the running into bodies. But I loved that stuff. I loved it. But I just knew in the back of his head that this is the game he loved, and this is the game he wants to see his son fall in love with. And he always wanted to see me and my older brother play together in the higher levels and stuff. And sort of being that young age, I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm doing this for you, not for me. I'm going to do this for. And that's where we all started, pen to paper, and then the journey started. So yeah, that's where things sort of kicked off. Very young age, at age 15, and yeah, really fortunate enough to be able to have that opportunity, and where I am today. It's definitely no regrets there. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's me always looking back at it, mind blowing to realise how I guess sort of became reality at a young age, and 2 years of pristine, trying to learn the game a bit more. So definitely going good. Yeah, me enjoying it. Yeah. I obviously signed it, which when I signed it, I knew more league. It was all you. At the time, I just knew it was big. Like I knew what I just did was something big and common, and I was like, oh, sweet. And it wasn't until I think a month later things just started. At a young age, I got thrown into a professional environment real quick. I matured, man, quicker than any 15-year-old should have. At age 15, I was attending the academy trainings in Nelson, the Crusader Academy trainings, where you'd usually start that when you finish school, where I was doing it at year 11, age 15. And at the time, going into academy training, the likes of Shannon Frizzell was in there, and, Quinton Strange, all these boys. At the age of 15, they were in the academy, and I was like, pretty crazy. I did that for the following 2 years. At times it was tough just because at such a young age I was thrown right into it, and at the time I was a boarder at Nelson College, so I was in there in the hostels. But academy training started, I think it started at 6, so you'd have to be there at 5:30, obviously prep and stuff. So I was getting picked up by a guy called Chris Goodman. I've also got another brother, Andrew Goodman, who's coach here. And they've been a massive influence in my life, and definitely a big part of why I'm here. But he'd always pick me up from the hostels, be like 5:30 or something, to take me to training and get ready. And it was just, we did that. It was like, so training would be like Monday to Friday, like every day I'm going on top of schoolwork on top of first thing training. And like, I was doing that, for 2 years straight. And there was a time where I literally was telling myself like I just wanted to quit, like at a young age. Like I remember getting up in the hostels and like waking up in the dark, getting ready, everyone's asleep, like every 15-year-old's asleep, every school kid's asleep. And I'm the only one waking up. I'm getting ready in the dark, sneaking out of the hostel quietly so I don't wake up anyone. And I'm off the train. I'm back and I'm rushing back to make breakfast on time at 7, because if you miss breakfast at 7 as a boarding student, you have to survive till lunch because then you got breakfast and you pick up little snacks for morning tea and then you have your lunch and dinner. So if you miss breakfast, you're pretty much battling the whole day to get to lunch. So obviously getting up early, heading to the gym, do the gym stuff, rush back, get some breakfast in. And it was tough at the time. I was having breakfast, like I was literally like just dead from the gym sessions, and like no, but it was hard because I didn't have anyone who could relate. Because I was the only 15-year-old in Tasman or even New Zealand doing this. Yeah, so I'm rushing back to breakfast, trying to stay awake, head back, get ready for school, pack my bags, and trying to stay awake in class. Making sure I'm on top of my grades. And after school, first thing training, and I'm still feeling the gym. And after the first thing, I'm literally dead. I'm like, oh, even little bits like homework you got to do after training, and it was definitely a big ask. And that's the one thing like I said before, like I really matured quickly at a young age. Organisation became my main priority every day, every week. My time management came better. By the time I was 16, 17, I was already ready to become a pro, just the way they improved the system at a young age. And yeah, it's definitely a time where, I just wanted to call quits. I really wanted to sleep in the mornings. I really wanted to wake up. I wanted to, be energetic and survive classes. I want to be awake, while I'm being teached. I want to go to first thing trainings, healthy and fit and fresh, ready to go. But looking back at it, there's definitely a reason why. It's because they've seen a lot of potential at a young age, and obviously they knew how to get the best out of it. And, at the time when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, I was regretting. But then once I left school and started, getting into these higher ranked teams and making way through the system, I sort of look back like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today, So definitely was a tough journey, but at the same time, a blessing in disguise. So 100%, and truly thankful to have the opportunity to be able to, being thrown into that, hole, was definitely a blessing in disguise, eh? So it's been awesome, man. Yeah, it definitely was it was quite a lot of load to take in, as a as a college student, like I don't know if it's normal, but I think it's normal. But as a college student, at the time, all you're worrying about is just being a teenager, going to school, hanging with mates, playing first 15, and living your teenage years. Where for me, at the age 15, I didn't quite have that. I was sort of always surrounded by older men, always surrounded by older guys, and but yeah, I think it was quite a tough one to ask. I think personally, if a first team player has potential to really make it to the top or really go far in the union scenes, but I think it'll just be good to be able to let them enjoy their whole teenage years, of being a college student, being a teenager, enjoying first team footy and enjoying their time with their mates, because once that's done and you have been recognised as a professional, you could be a professional rugby player, then once you leave school, for myself, it's just full on, just all thrown at you, and you're doing it for as long as the body can hold. So I think, it'd definitely be great if, guys like that just to be able to enjoy that period of their life, to enjoy school footy, enjoy school, enjoy just being a teenager, and not have that pressure on them, which is, it was definitely, to speaking honestly, it definitely was tough for myself, but it definitely built me into the character I am today, mentally. So definitely, yeah. So at least, yeah, it's been tough, But yeah, it was funny right through school. I left year 9, started college. I didn't know girls except till I was like, literally my senior year, like I was so determined on footy. That was my priority, and that's all that I ever cared about, in the world, It's getting good grades at the time and playing good footy. And it wasn't until I got to obviously pen and paper with the Tasman Marco, I just sort of mentally clicked that, like, man, you got potential here. So I ended up just literally, when I knew I signed that, I knew it was a big deal, and I knew what the pathway could look like in my future. I literally just went at it. It was funny because I was gym in the morning. I literally gym 2 or 3 times a day. On my spare times and sitting in the hostel, I'd head down, practice kicking or running, playing touch with her. But every day